Good afternoon guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome along. If you've been here before, welcome back. Well, today I have brought you over to Waffle in Northamptonshire. And what is this church called again?
Holy Trinity.
Holy Trinity Church. Now, on the outskirts, if people walk past, it just looks like a normal church, you know, place of God and all that. But down in the cellar, there's a little secret going on, which I'm going to show you today. Anyway, today I am joined with the legends of Purple. How you doing, Purples? And we've got Jamie Brady with us today. So, yeah, this one's going to be a good one. Catch you in a bit.
Well, party number one has gone down already.
I don't suppose you've got a toilet.
Well, I'm not very much of a religious person, but I do love churches. I think they're the most fascinating buildings ever. I don't think we can get in here, but obviously the old organ's in there. But yeah, I love churches, they're absolutely stunning. For how old they are. And surprisingly, it's quite warm in here. Because normally I remember churches, because I went to not Catholic school, a Church of England school, sorry. Yeah, my mother tried to bring me up as a Christian, but not my bag, to be honest. You know, but yeah, I always remember churches to be cold places. It's quite warm in here. It's quite nice. You all right in Purple?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Yeah, there's a lot of information on this little leaflet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was starting to read some of it. I've read the most important bit, but the rest of it is like... if you really want to know the in-depth information, you need to go over to his channel, don't you? Because he's got it all locked in his little head, doesn't he?
Yeah. And you know what he's like? I bet he's...
Oh, he likes to flex his muscles, doesn't he? And this is his forte. This is ancient history. So
Yeah.
he's going to go over everything in detail, isn't he?
Start licking the bones to see how old they are.
This is what magical properties they have. To look as if they were actually standing and not sitting.
No, they're designed so that your knees are bent, so that your knees are bent in prayer. So you've heard of that saying, knees bent in prayer.
Yeah, I like my theory. So
It's a theory though, and it is completely wrong.
But these here, they had them as little ledges, and you could pull the seat back because, of course, they had to stand during prayer and during everything else. Now, of course, the rich people don't always want to do that, so they had these ones where they could perch and still look as if they were standing. Yeah, that's my theory, and I like my theory.
Happy days.
These two porches are late 19th century additions. So in this ossuary's heyday, in the medieval period, I would now be outside the church.
Okay.
And the south door of a church would be the main door that they would use. They wouldn't normally have used the west doors that they use today. Okay. Watch your head when you go around the corner.
Oh, he's not wrong.
Oh, blimey.
Everyone's up to crouch.
Blimey.
The osteoarchaeologists state that there are about 10,000 bones here. They are from all parts of the human body, but you'll notice there appears to be a higher proportion of the larger bones, the skulls and femurs. However, this was because in 1910, 1911 times, they had a problem with water ingress through the two south-facing windows. So originally in the medieval period, the earth would be set back. The ground level is approximately the top of the window arch, and you have natural light shining in on the angle. Anyway, they had a problem with water ingress, so what they did, they stacked the bones into 1 or 2 blocks in the middle, but then they reinterred, they reburied a lot of the smaller bones, hence the disparity in ratios. But that disparity gave rise to a couple of erroneous theories. Now, in the medieval period, all of Western Europe, apart from southern Spain, was Roman Catholic, one religion. And one erroneous theory was that the Roman Catholic Church believed that you only required the skulls and femurs for the resurrection. That is an absolute load of dingo's kidneys. The Roman Catholic Church in the medieval period, as well as now, believes ideally at the resurrection you have the full bones in the body, but if you don't, God will provide. The other erroneous theory was that it was a Knights Templar heresy, that they believed that you only required the skulls and femurs for the resurrection. Again, an absolute load of tosh. And that one possibly came about because the Knights Templar battle flag was the Joly or boson, skull and crossbones. Now, there's also animal bones here, which is common with human ossuaries. This one is a cow bone with the sharp edge. There's a big beastie down here, which is a horse bone. Failing that, dinosaur. And the archaeologists say there's also apparently sheep and deer bones. Now, medieval graveyards, churchyards, were used for social festivities and also animal grazing, hence the animal bones. Now, in the medieval period, Northamptonshire was a lot larger. It included the towns of Stamford, now in Lincolnshire, Huntingdon and Peterborough. Northampton was the largest town, stone-walled. Stamford was the second largest town, stone-walled. Rothwell was the third largest town in Northamptonshire. No evidence of stone walls, but there is one reference to an eastgate, so possibly some form of defence, possibly a wooden palisade. Now, Rockingham Forest, created in 1265, forest meaning King's hunting area, wouldn't all be wooded.
Foraging, that's right, King's foraging grounds.
Covered a third of the county of Northamptonshire. It went down as far south as Northampton, as far east as Thrapston, as far north as Market Harborough. And Rothwell and Kettering was slap bang in the middle of Rockingham Forest. And even in the 1290s, when they cut the forest back to a northern section and a southern section, the southern section came down as far south as Rushton, little village 2 miles north of here. So even then, after half an hour, 3/4 of an hour walk, you could be in the King's Forest illegally poaching his deer. Now, purgatory was a Roman Catholic concept in the early 13th century. Some prelates believed in it, some didn't, and some, being canny politicians, were sitting on the fence. But anyway, that's the figures the archaeologists came up with, but you're not going to have 2,500 dead cannons. Though, wait for it, there may be the odd loose cannon amongst them. That's all you did there.
Bit of maritime humour there.
Yeah.
Another theory is routine clearance of graveyard. Now, there are post-Reformation ossuaries, for instance some brides in London, which were used for routine clearance. So every 8 or 9 years they clear a section of graveyard, put the bones into the ossuary, shut the door, lock it, and then that's it for a further 8 or 9 years. Now, the University of Sheffield, they believe that these medieval ossuaries were used for much more than that. One reason being, on that east wall, particularly on the right-hand side, is evidence of medieval wall painting. And 19th century antiquarians state it was a doom painting, Doomsday, the Last Judgment. And you're not going to put a relatively expensive painting on a wall if you're not expecting people to see it on a regular basis. Now, Sheffield have got a nice analogy. They say perhaps you did your confession with the priest in the main body of the church, came down into the ossuary here, then you prayed to your dead ancestors, and your friends and enemies' dead ancestors come to that because you wouldn't know who was who. So you're helping to cut your own time in purgatory by being very pious. But at the same time, your peers could be walking outside the church on the south side, look down through the windows and say, oh, Master Joseph, what a pious man. So even ticking a few boxes of kudos with the local community.
Get a bit smelly.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, very, very interesting.
This is George, it's James and Bob. And that's Raquel.
You've got to see it to believe it.
Yeah,
You can't.
yeah, I mean, it's amazing, isn't it?
You read it, you read about it, but it doesn't.
Well, guys, that was Waffell's Crypt. If you go over to Jamie Brady about it, because he's been studying this since we've been planning to go. So look out for his channel on YouTube, and that's Welcome to Wimbledon, because he's very interesting. He gets more with the facts and the history. So yeah, quite interesting. I've never been here. It's only £3 to get in. Yeah, quite interesting. Well, that'll do me for this one then, guys. Yeah, if you like this video, then please like and subscribe and all the other shit you do on YouTube. Anyway, so that's goodbye from me. That's goodbye from Purple. Say goodbye, Purple. Bye. And Jamie.
See you later. Bye-bye.